Well, in today's broadcast, I've got a lot of things that I want to share with you guys, and I really want to speak from the heart about what's truly going on, not just here in America, but all over the globe. Because right now, there are attempts to shut down elections, to remove political people off the ballot, as we've seen here in the United States of America, and even ban entire parties from the ballot completely. I mean, we have become an entire third world in not just third world countries, but I'm talking about countries, in Europe, like Germany, like the United States of America, or more Western and European countries. And, things are getting really, really, it's just not good on a world scale. And I have to be honest, the mainstream media is not giving the entire picture to anyone. The mainstream media here in the United States of America acts like everything's good, nothing's going on. And what they're doing is in the name of saving democracy, because they always have to, give some kind of salvation reason when they're taking away your very voice and your very option to choose the candidate you want, right? And I really want to show that right now, Trump is in jeopardy in 2024. We know that we have the indictments on the former president of the United States. We've got all these attacks calling him now Hitler, as you're going to see in this report. But not just Hitler. They're comparing him to tyranny and dictators, taking him off the ballot, and of course, even going after those who support him and calling him a threat to democracy. But what I really want to show you is that this kind of stuff is happening in other countries. It's not just here in the U.S., and it really is a tail sign of where we are headed in the future. I've got so much to show you in today's report, but as a quick reminder, please get on over to restrictedrepublic.com. Look, I created this because of everything that we're seeing right now. If you really want to get down to what is going on and you really want to get the truth, get to restrictedrepublic.com, because you're not getting the full picture from the mainstream media. And we really dive in and do exclusive broadcasts there. So get unbrainwashed, because the information you're getting here on these social media platforms and YouTube and all these things, it's not free. They cherry pick what information you're going to hear. They put CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all these types at the top as authoritative news, and they're not giving you the full account. They're giving you a one-sided version. But get to Restricted Republic and use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. And as a quick reminder, check that subscribe button and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Just check it, please, because I've heard so many reports. Hey, you're right, I checked it and I wasn't subscribed. So make sure you are subscribed. And if you're new, welcome to the broadcast. All right, so let's dive in. I want to start first with what's going on over in Ukraine, because right now we obviously have the war between Russia and Zelensky there with Ukraine. And as a result of this war, Zelensky is now refusing to hold elections. Take a look here. This is on Newsweek.com. Zelensky refuses to hold elections in wartime over in Ukraine. Now, that was posted as of November the 7th, so just a month or so, a little over a month ago. But the point is that here we have a dictator saying, we're going to use the excuse of war, God forbid that we get new people in office or he gets replaced or whatever on this election. God forbid anything like that happens, so let's just stop the election. This is what tyranny does. This is what dictators do. And it's not just in Ukraine. I want to show you, and this one's going to be a big shocker to a lot of people, because this recently came out in about October of this year, right? This is on NPR.org, and it says, Germany's far-right party now polls higher than the three parties in government. So Germany's far-right AfD party now polls higher than each of the three parties now governing Germany. It's an example, they say, of the spread of populism across Europe. So the good news is they're polling higher, more conservative, more Republican kind of based group. However, once this came out, the very next article or very next thing that came out is this, and this is as of I believe this was just posted recently, and it's headlined, Germany is thinking of simply banning the far right as radical conservatives continue to rise. Germany's mainstream is getting desperate for a fix. Now, it goes on to state last week, Germany's domestic intelligence agency took the dramatic step of classifying the Saxony state branch of the Alternative for Germany, the AfD party, as a threat to democracy, a potential first step towards banning it outright as unconstitutional. There can be no doubt about the extreme right orientation of this party, declared Dirk Martin Christian, president of Saxony State Office for the Protection of the Constitution. So simply for the crime of becoming popular with their people, they are now literally wanting to ban an entire political group. This is in Germany, one of our more, say, richer nations, if you will, more of a, like the Western nation, like the United States of America, happening right now. Hey, let's, we don't like what they have to say, so let's just ban the party entirely. And they're going solely off the precipice of labeling them some kind of extreme group and saying they are a threat to democracy. This is why the rhetoric that they're using in Germany is real important for us here in the United States of America, because they are literally using the exact same rhetoric to start removing Trump off the ballot and start going after him, indicting him, calling him, some kind of Hitlerian person. Here's an example from the Atlantic I want to show you. Trump's threat to democracy is now systemic. So they're saying he is a threat to democracy. Then there's also this on The Guardian. First thing, Donald Trump is still a threat to democracy, Democrats warn. So they're obviously on full tilt, calling him not only a threat to democracy, but now MSNBC and mainstream media is comparing him and his speeches to Mein Kampf. But take a look at this. This is on theblaze.com. MSNBC compares Mein Kampf to Trump's speech. The article goes on to state that in a recent clip from Chris Ginsing Reports on MSNBC, the host and guest ramp up their comparison of Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler, even doing a ridiculous side-by-side comparison between Trump's word and the text of Mein Kampf. In other words, MSNBC there wants you to believe that Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler. There really is no other view, or they have the same policies, they have the same belief lines, and they're after the same things. Look, if Donald Trump was anything like Hitler, don't you think something would have happened the first time he was in office? But yet they completely ignore that he made the economy better, people were living better, people's lives were better, and try to say he is some kind of dictator when all America has to do is look at what happened when he was president before to decide what kind of president he's going to be if he gets in 2024. So here's the thing. Over in Germany, they're calling entire political movements and political parties a threat to democracy. Well, it's interesting that it's the same thing here. And not only are they attempting to ban an entire party, but we've got Ukraine's Zelensky literally saying we're not going to have an election. But here in the United States, as you know, Trump is being banned from the Colorado ballot. He's already gotten banned. It's now going to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court declares that Donald Trump's not eligible for the White House. We have California jumping in on the action. The lieutenant governor there said to explore every legal option to get Trump off of the ballot. And not just Donald Trump. What's interesting is if I was a Democrat, this would tick me off, right? What's interesting in 4 separate states, and I'm going to brief on this because I've already talked about it, but I want to really hone in on its importance and what's going on a global scale. But not only is the Biden administration and Democrats trying to get Trump off the ballot here in multiple states, but they've also already removed all of Joe Biden's competition, kicking other Democrats off the ballot. So as a Democrat, your only choice in 4 separate states is Joe Biden and Joe Biden alone. This is chilling to the very core. Florida Phoenix decision to put only Biden's name on the Florida ballot in March 2024. Obviously, this has started a lawsuit. Then here we have in Tennessee, Secretary of State. They've got the ballot finalized, and you can see Democrat primary, Joe Biden. He's the only Democrat on the ticket. And there are others running, by the way. And then we have on WRAL News, Biden won't have challengers in North Carolina primary election, says the Democratic Party. And then not only there, we also have the same thing happening in Massachusetts, as Williamson, who is running against Joe Biden, is obviously not happy with this. And a lot of his contenders are not happy with this. But if I was a Democrat, I'd be like, man, dude, you're afraid. Are you afraid to have competition, A, or B? Why am I not given a choice, even on my own party? It really goes to show what kind of a person that Joe Biden really is. And he's the kind of person that I've been warning about for a while. And to jail his opponents, right? He's attempting to indict a former president. We had January 6ers be highly mistreated, and yet people from these radical left rallies, we have these crazy riots and rallies happening now. I believe there was one that they even invaded the Capitol, and nobody was arrested. I believe it was a pro-Palestine march recently. Nothing happened to them, not at all. And there was a lot of shenanigans going on there as well. But nope, we just reserve that for the more conservative, the more Christian base. And of course, he's going after people who have similar ideas to Donald Trump and believe in freedom, like Elon Musk. Let me just show you this. And this is really important. Biden's hit squad is going after Elon Musk. And here's what All in TikTok put out. Here's some of the things, I guess, that Joe Biden's administration is going after Elon Musk about: a glass house, not hiring enough refugees to national security roles, and canceling over an $885 million contract with Starlink. And then Elon Musk even comments, he goes, let's not forget about the White House giving Tesla the cold shoulder, excluding us from the EV summit. He's one of the biggest EV creators, right, including GM. So he's literally been excluded from something that he kind of spearheaded, for the most part, if you will. He's got a big, obviously he's got Tesla, and he's been big in that movement. So it's interesting just to see how the Biden administration is going after and attacking those who are on that side. And this is why I think it's really important that Donald Trump is truly in jeopardy, that when you can ban the far right from the ballot box, as they're trying to do right now in Germany, and if you can ban a president from being on a ticket, if you can ban Democrats, other Democrats from being on a ticket, then we're not living in a free country. Obviously, I think we all know that, but I think we need to start getting real and really, standing up against the mainstream media that's supposed to be a voice of the people. And the way that we do that, the way that we stand against the mainstream media, is we don't give them the time of day. We don't watch them anymore. We don't read their articles. We just turn the other cheek. And we understand that they're not for the people. And that's why people like myself, like Justice Knight, like the Dan Bonginos of the world, like, all the other people that are sharing the truth are so important. Because if they can squander truth and remove people off the ballot, then we are no better than countries who have extreme ideologies and extreme ways that they handle elections, where there are no elections, really, like Middle Eastern countries. We're no different. We're no different than that. And I know the whole world keeps the eye on the United States of America because we used to be a beacon of freedom. Well, now, I also want to show you one other thing. Now we're really falling from the beacon of freedom because we're not free anymore. We really aren't. In fact, Christian persecution, because we used to be a Christian state, right? Country, but now Christian persecution is rising all over the globe. And I want to show you a couple of things on that kind of in conclusion. This is Breitbart News. In communist China, celebrating Christmas could hurt your social credit score. As you know, they have a social credit score there in China. They want one here in the United States of America. And God forbid you celebrate Jesus Christ at Christmas, that's going to hurt your score. And now you may not be able to ride that plane or get on that train or send your kids to certain schools. Then we have over in communist Nicaragua, launches a mass arrest of evangelicals right before Christmas. We have this: Islamists plan huge attacks on Europe on Christian sites over Christmas period. And then we have an all-out attack that happened. Christian massacre. Nigerian gunmen kill at least 140 in Christian-dominated regions. So there's lots of attacks and stuff, unfortunately, that have been happening on Christians, and the persecution of Christians has really exploded in these last couple of centuries. And I predict that a lot of this could hit here in the United States of America. We had Psaki come out and literally say, the former press secretary for Joe Biden, she came out and said, hey, the views of Mike Johnson, our Republican Speaker of the House, well, they're very dangerous. And what did she label dangerous? Christian views, because that's all he spouted and that's all he was saying. So this is the kind of thing that's rising in our country. And I really, really want you guys to be aware of what's going on. Anyhow, I wanted to share all of that with you and encourage you to share this with your friends, your family members, and your loved ones. And I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas and holiday season. And because you really mean a lot to me, I want you to know that as well. Anyhow, thanks again for being here. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.